Yes, we're going to bring our guest. He's on the line, Attorney Malcolm X Laverdan, the attorney for Mr. Vincent Simmons, who you just saw on CBS News being released after 44 years in Angola on a wrongful charge. Mr. Brother Attorney Laverdan was one of the brothers who helped unshackle the brother on live on the news, and I know that must have been a great feeling for you, brother. Welcome to the Open Line Radio Show on KIEE 88.3.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad to be here. Yes, it was a very exciting moment. It was very exciting.
Yeah, and sir, I know justice that's finally being done is some kind of justice. What kind? I'm not exactly sure, but when the two accusers, the one that raised up her hands after the judge finally said, "Well, I'm going to release him." She said, "Well, at least I got 44 years from him." That was that hurted me and so many others till it was unreal. What is it that what kind of life you have after doing 44 years?
Well, Mr. Simmons has an uphill battle. You spend 44 years in jail. You spend a significant portion of your life. Now he's just trying to put together what's left and make the best of a situation. But he's happy to be out. He's not in Louisiana. He's in Texas. He's with family. He's doing well. He's in great spirits. So he's looking forward to the future. He's not holding any animosity to the young ladies or now the 6-year-old ladies now, and he just wants to move on with his life.
That is really something, because I know in the Bible they say tooth for a tooth, eye for eye, nose for a nose. That is really remarkable, because in this day and time, I know I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do that. But
that would be very difficult for me. I have to agree with you. That would be extremely difficult. 44 years, that's a long time. I mean, this happened in 77. I was 6 years old. And, but he kept the faith. But what's disappointing is, like, he made 16 attempts to ask for a new trial. 16. And all 16 were denied. Now, I don't know if the viewer audience understands what happened. Okay. In this situation, there was a Brady violation. And a Brady violation means evidence that tends to prove you innocent was not disclosed to the defense team. So, a discovery packet that criminal lawyers call it, that's information that generally incriminates your client. But during the course of law enforcement investigating the matter, if they come across evidence that frees you or proves you're innocent, they're required to turn it over. In this situation, that evidence was not turned over. And that evidence consisted of a photo lineup that was very suggestive. Well, that's a side issue, but there was a photo lineup that was done where the only individual with handcuffs on was Vincent Simmons. It was very, very suggestive. That wasn't turned over. People in the defense team didn't know there was an actual lineup. Also, the girls were examined by a doctor about a week or so after the incident, and there was no evidence of any trauma. That was not turned over. Lastly, the girls gave a statement as to what happened. In their statement, or it was a written statement, they were unable to identify who did the alleged rape. They were not able to they didn't know who it was. They don't know where he lived. They knew nothing about him. And that statement was not handed over to the defense team. And the significance of it is, how is it that 10 days post alleged incident, you didn't know who did this to Vincent Simmons did it? And so that information was not turned over, and that was a Brady violation, and we were able to get Vincent Simmons a new trial. And what was surprising was that the DA refused to prosecute and dismiss the charges at the same time. So this matter is concluded. Vincent Simmons is a free man, never to worry about any criminal matters in the Vols Parish.
Okay, so is he going? How much money can he get or can any of
We're
them
working
go?
on that.
Or can
We're
any of
working on
them?
that.
Can any of the liars that cause harm? Can any of the liars, like the district attorney, the prosecutor, uh, can any of them, the sheriff, can any of them go to jail in solitary confinement or be?
Well, typically in a situation like this, um, Vincent's remedy would be a civil suit, and we're working on that. As for anyone in law enforcement being incarcerated or being charged, that's not going to happen. Quite frankly, a lot of the actors who were involved have all gone on to glory. So, and and at the hearing, the judge didn't blame anybody. He he stated that he was familiar with the former DA and he dealt with them in the past. And for some reason, the evidence wasn't turned over, and the Judge Bennett, assumed or rationalized it by stating, if he didn't turn over, they must not have had it. So, no one really knows what happened to the evidence, how it was pocketed or hid. No one knows. And what's going to happen is the DA's office is going to point the finger at the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department is going to point the finger at the DA's office. So, at the end of the day, evidence wasn't turned over and it hurt our client, but there will be a day of reckoning for that.
I know as an attorney that a Brady violation is a very serious violation.
Very
and then
serious.
the side violation, like you were talking about the single photograph being unduly suggestive, that's a violation as well.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, what they're going to do with that, because all of that is sanctionable.
Well, this is a Vols parish. I doubt anyone's
know.
going to get sanctioned.
I know.
And the next remedy is for us to work together,
The
put together a civil
suit.
suit.
Right.
And that's what we're working on. But it's unfortunate. I mean, as I was exercising this morning, I thought about what I would say to you guys if asked any particular questions. But what kind of dawned on me is, in 1977, even if this information would have been reported, I don't know if it would have made a difference.
Oh, well,
I don't know. I don't know if it would have made a difference.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that would have made a difference, especially being that time period.
But what's so unfortunate is, in my mind, I think the allegations are false.
well,
I don't think there's any truth to them whatsoever. But Vols Parish, 1977, a black man accused of raping twin 14-year-old white girls. That's just a bad combination.
hey, how you doing, attorney? How you doing? I have a
I'm doing
question.
fine, sir.
I have a
Sir,
question
yes.
for both of you. So, as a black man, my question to you guys is, how can we, going into a court, trust the justice system? I mean, cases like this shakes my faith in the justice system, especially as a black man, because there's already a strike against me or an assumption of guilty based on my color. And we know this. And when I'm looking at this jury that's supposed to be of my peers, and I look out into that jury, but I don't see me in that jury pool, how can we have faith in the justice system? I mean, we keep hearing, everybody wants us to not run when we are accused of stuff, because that makes us look guilty. But when we know we innocent, but yet we know that we getting railroaded. I mean, what is a sane person supposed to do? I mean, if we act out in trial.
I have an answer for that. All right. First of all, this criminal justice system we have in America and Louisiana, it's not going anywhere. Okay. So we need to learn to work with it and learn to improve upon it. An area where we can make a tremendous strides in improvement is jury duty. A lot of our people do not like serving on juries. They get the jury notice, throw it away, when they do show up in trial, they look for every excuse in the book not to serve. Our people just do not like going to the courthouse, and I understand the historical context of it all, but we have to serve on juries. We have to participate.
And I've been
Yeah.
Brother G, I've been voting since I've been voting for 50 years. I
Yeah.
have been never called to go on a jury duty, and that's not right because I'm one of those that's gonna go the whole 10 yards. I've been voting for 50 years, and they never once called me for jury duty. Never once called me for jury duty. Now that's wrong. I'll serve in any parish. That's how bad I want to be on a jury.
I understand. That's unfortunate. I've been called once myself, but I wasn't chosen.
I would
But
say.
but a lot of our people do not like serving on juries.
Yeah.
And here's something else. We need to also run for office.
Oh yeah, we need to run for office.
We need to run for office. We need to be engaged in the political system.
Yes.
We need to know who these
Oh,
candidates
yeah.
are. We need to make sure we vet them properly. And we just need to get engaged.
But how
See-
can we get engaged if we got attorneys like Ron Haley that's doing the right thing and want to do the right thing, and he gets sanctioned for that? So as an attorney, how can you fix that? And as a politician, if you know that you could go in as a politician with good intentions, but you know in the end, if you don't go with a system that's been doing crooked things for many years, that you're going to have problems. So therefore, how can we go into these fields and fix things if it's still corrupted, and you can hurt yourself if you do try to fix it?
All right, you get together a team. I know Ron. He's a very able, skilled colleague of mine. He will come back. He will come back even stronger. It's time for us to recruit more Rons and more Malcolms because the fight continues. The fight has never gone away. Unfortunately, a lot of our brothers and sisters think that we're living in a post-racist world, which is not true. We just need to get engaged. Southern University is producing lawyers every year. We need to recruit lawyers for the next round for the new civil rights fight. So it makes no sense for us to complain. We just need to get a team, get a plan together, organize, mobilize, and go to work. That's it.
Everything that you said, because I talk about that all the time on the radio about complaining later but not wanting to serve on jury duty.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
are 1,000% correct on that. And to address your issue about black people not being on the jury duty, that's an issue as well, because you have what's called Batson challenges that you can make,
Yep.
saying that they're trying to, fill the jury with
Remove
people
you
that
just because
correct,
of race.
remove all the people of color and all of that kind of stuff. So there are remedies to that as well, just so y'all will know.
Sir, I'm one that loves to complain, but I do actions with it. I wanted to say that yes, indeed, being born here in Louisiana, it's imperative that those of us who love our city, we are the best ones to talk about how corrupt, how no good, how blatant racist that they are, because we are embedded here. Our DNA is right here from Louisiana. So yes, I talked about them as often as I possibly can. You give me you give me anything, I'm talking about them little dogs.
I agree, but the most racism is in the black community. Black people are more racist towards each other than any other culture, and that's our problem. Until we fix that problem, we're going to keep experiencing racism from other cultures. Okay.
And I understand.
I have to correct you on that one. I have to correct you on that.
Okay,
Black
all
folk-
right. And I
Black
Let's
folk
go,
really
'cause
can't be racist. We can be prejudiced,
prejudice.
but it's kind of hard for a Black American to be racist in America. In most instances,
Right.
we lack the authority. We lack the power.
That's right.
I can
Yes.
dislike you till the cows come home, but that doesn't mean I can affect your life.
You go to the clerk of court.
Right.
98% of the clerks that's in the clerk of court is 95% white folks, and some of them still dripping behind their ears because they just got out of high school. You know, that's
Yes.
power. That's power.
Yes. And what about the light skin and the dark skin pandemic?
Well, we gonna
and I
always
think
have
that's the racism I'm talking about in the black community. The light skin, the dark skin, a black person get a new house, the colorism, you know what I'm saying? You have other people that's trying to hurt them. They get a good job. So that's the problem what we have going on in our community right now. So until we fix that, we're going to continue on having those problems.
We have to blame Mr. Lavender.
Yeah, and yes, we do have racism in the black community. Oh yes, Hoo-hoo.
Racism is with power.
Right.
We don't have power
we're
to
the power.
fire you.
I
We don't
don't-
have
Right.
power
Power.
to stop you
To
from
deny a
yeah,
law.
Yes.
that's
Or
where
to
that
hire
comes from.
you.
The
Yes,
power.
but let me
Because
see.
we don't
Like, as
have
a former officer, if I'm a light-skinned person that go on the job with a dark-skinned black woman that's a lieutenant, even though I have all the accolades, she would not give me that position. She has power because of my skin color. Just using it as how racism operates in the black community.
And I understand that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
However, it's like a dime and a dozen. You know, you're gonna
Yeah.
experience that no matter
Right.
what. You're gonna
Yeah.
always experience that. But we gotta think collectively. We got to think collectively,
right. Correct.
community wise.
Right.
That's right.
Yes,
and
we
so
do. We do.
we do. And in closing, sir, it done got really hot in here.
The fans on.
It is.
Man, like folks
We got,
tired.
we got Mr. Landry.
Lavender.
But yeah, I was saying it too.
Hold on, y'all. We got a caller right quick.
Caller, you got less than a
30
minute.
seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna do it in 60 seconds. But look, guys, we have been taught how to be racist toward our own self. From way back when civil rights was started, we was taught how the dark-skinned black person didn't mean nothing because we had to appease the white people with the light skin. And then that was taught to us by the NAACP. Every time they chose somebody to be approached to white folk, they needed somebody light-skinned. So we was taught all that. We got to reprogram our own self because we have been got so normal with racism till we normalize it against our own selves. And even the blacks who supposed to lead us, we got to get on them because they're too afraid to call these white folk racist in front of their faces. Thank y'all. Khadijah, that was 50 seconds. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin.
Yeah.
All right, and so this is a really hot topic. We're gonna have to revisit this again. We have our next guest that's on, Mr. Landry, and the regular Mr. Landry, not that other Landry. Okay, we have our next guest on, and we're gonna step on out.
We tell him we appreciate it
We appreciate you, sir. We're
Yes,
looking forward
ma'am.
to
Yes, ma'am.
and come back to the show.
come back to the show. Are you here in Louisiana?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Alexandria.
Okay, well, it's only about an hour and a half from here. Why don't you come on the TV show so we could do this live?
I would love to do. I would love to be a guest.
Okay, well then, how about next Saturday?
Next Saturday, what time?
Or Saturday after next?
Okay, well, Mr. Ballard has my number, and he'll call me, and we'll work something
Yes,
out. I would glad to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we have a caller that's she wants to know your number.
Okay.
Okay.
My number is 318-445-3533.
Okay, guys.
318,
318-445-3533.
and it's Mr. Lavalier.
Malcolm Larvadane.
Oh, Lavalier.
Yeah, Larvadane. Yes, ma'am.
Spell that?
Larv as in Victor, Adain. Larvadane. Yeah,
got it right.
my people are from Assumption Parish.
Okay.
So, you know.
Assumption. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So give me a call anytime. You got my number. You got my name. Use it.
So we really appreciate you, brother, for coming on and tell Mr. Simmons we have our deepest support here in South Louisiana, and it was great to see you take those shackles off of him.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
that was
sir.
a great feeling.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a
you.
good. We'll talk later. All right.
Thank
Bye
you so
bye.
much.
Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.